Welcome to the 132nd episode of the Nerdom and Other Nonsense anime podcast. Today we are back to talk about the episodes that aired in week 5 of the spring 2020 season. As always, we include timestamps in the description of the YouTube video and podcast feed if you only want to hear about one or two specific shows, since we spoil literally fucking everything. My name is Kat, and I have opened up my own private medical practice. My promise to all my patients is that they'll leave feeling precisely 69% better than when they arrived. Ooh. Also with me are Leo and Bcom.
Yo.
Hi, I'm Bcom.
I don't know.
I'm Leo.
69s are overrated anyway. I was actually just talking to my friend about that earlier.
Well, it's better than the 30% in Princess Connect, so, I mean, that's a promise, for sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, man.
So it's been like a whole day and a half since we last recorded. Does anybody have nonsense?
Sure. I do. I finished watching an anime, and I obviously have been watching this longer than a day and a half, because it's the anime White Album. And you might be asking yourself...
Is it about the Beatles?
No, it's not about the Beatles, amazingly. But it is about people who make music, but they're idols.
I've heard of White Album. I've had people recommend it to me a few times.
They probably recommended White Album 2, because that is like a really good anime love triangle. About like these people at school who like end up playing music together, like two girls and a guy, and then things get super complicated between them, and it's very fascinating. White Album is a 2-season long anime that came before White Album 2, and is very barely related to it at all. Like, the only thing that they really share is that there is a song from White Album 1 that plays in White Album 2, because it's like they're in the same universe, basically, and that's basically the only connection.
That's really weird that they decided to name them similarly, though. Is it the same staff and everything?
I think it's like they're from the same... Like, I think they're visual novels, both of them, to start off with. At least the first one was. I don't know about the second one. I assume they were. And so they're like the same feeling, at least. Yeah,
there's White Album 1, and it has a second season, and then there's the White Album 2, which is the one you're saying is just like completely unrelated, just something different.
Yeah. I mean, it's like got the same kind of feel in that it's like a romance kind of show, but it's
got different studios.
Better. Yeah, different studios, different everything. Like
different everything, it looks like.
White Album, so, okay, when I was getting into anime, a lot of people recommended White Album 2, and they always said, like, do not feel like you have to watch White Album 1. Like, trust us, you don't need to watch White Album 1 to watch White Album 2. And I just want to say to all those people, they gave people very good advice. Finally watching through White Album 1 was a journey. It was
a journey.
It is literally the most confusing anime I've ever watched. Ever. Mostly because, like, it seems like the people writing it have no idea how humans interact with each other.
Ouch.
It feels like a show about aliens. It's so insane. So, you guys have all seen the anime School Days, right? Where, like, the guy... Like, he does basically every route in the game in the anime, so he starts, like, having sex with every girl. That happens in White Album as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So there's actual sex in White Album.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely
really
actual
rare.
sex.
I can count on one hand the number of anime that actually have, like, real sex in them.
Yeah, and so that's fun. It's, like, kind of fun when that happens, because you're like, why do any of these girls like this guy? But you're still like, okay, I guess this is fun, though. The thing about School Days that makes it really tolerable is that you end up hating the main character of School Days. But then there's like a comeuppance at the end. Like, to put it mildly, there's a comeuppance. In White Album, there is no fucking comeuppance. It's just like he gets to be with every single girl, and like literally nothing bad ever happens to him. And
he just ends with all of them like clinging to him desperately.
Kind of, like, in sort of different ways. Some of them, like, there's one girl in particular who I was really happy, like, kind of stood up for herself at the end of the show. And she was like an older girl. like a woman, basically, not a girl. And so I was really rooting for her character to like just drop this stupid idiot. So that was nice. But like everything else kind of goes well for him, and all the other girls are just miserable.
I
just
hate
awful.
harems like that, where all of the girls are just like, please, tonight, can you fuck me? But like,
Yeah.
spend time with me today, please, please.
It's worse than that. He refers to them as his savior goddesses.
Oh. He's just like, you're all my bitches now.
They seem to just appear randomly and save him.
And save him. And by that, they mean like suck his dick in the library?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, it's like, it's usually not that exciting, Kat, is the thing. It's usually more boring than that. It's, oh my God.
How is sex when you're a teenager with a bunch of random girls not like boring, more boring?
Because he's
than
not
getting...
even like into it half of the time. He acts like he's not into it. He's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to do this again. Oh well.
He's just sitting there fucking the girl from behind, like, well, I guess I should keep going. I don't know. I mean,
well, they don't
not that
show
stimulating.
most of those scenes, by the way. So like, it's not. You don't even get the fun of that. It's just like the most pretentious, most confusing thing ever. And it's so not worth the time that it took to watch it.
The more you keep saying it's so pretentious and terrible and all this, the more I want to watch it. Because I'm like, but how do they make that boring? How do they make
they found
an
a way.
anime with actual sex boring?
I mean, it's fucking hilarious to watch sometimes because you're just like screaming at the screen, like, what are you doing? Like, what is even happening right now? It's so hard to follow. It's so insanely hard.
I just want to know, what's the first 3 anime that came to your mind, Kat, that you can remember them having actual sex in?
The one from a couple seasons ago where everyone fucks everyone. The teachers fuck, like a whole bunch of students.
Domestic Girlfriend?
No, it's
Wait, teachers.
the whole anime is about sex. I'm trying.
God damn it! This sounds familiar,
me.
but I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
2 of the characters have sex because the people they're in love with are in love with other people. They're just like, well, I guess we should.
Kuzu no Honkai, Scum's Wish.
Yes, Scum's Wish.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a couple years ago, and seasons now.
Yeah, Scum's Wish is the one I think of first.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
You're
just
locked
really
from
aren't
last
that many.
season.
No, we don't talk about Ishizuka reviewers anymore. It doesn't exist on this podcast anymore.
That was the first one that came to my mind because it was so recent.
That's true. I don't know. It's just like there aren't very many anime where it's a prominent feature of the plot that that the characters are having sex. So
not often.
Yeah. But
So that was my
I don't
nonsense.
know. Very nice, very nice. It was entertaining. Yeah, I don't know. I got a couple of new board games in the mail today. I'm excited. I'm gonna have a board game night this weekend.
Is like this a thing for you now?
Well, I mean, I've done that before, but I got new games, so I'm like extra excited.
Any ones you're excited about?
One's called the Chameleon, and that looks interesting. Mm-hmm. Just basically how much you can fool everyone around you into believing what you want them to believe, kind of.
I like those kind of like social engineering games. They're kind of fun.
Yeah, they can be fun. And then I got Sagrada, which I've played before at Gen Con, and I really liked it.
Cool.
It's like, have you ever seen that? It's like the window pane game, and you add up the points on each pane, and whoever gets the most wins.
Is that based on like? Hold on, I'm going to look Sagrada board game. Is it based on like
based on,
the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona or? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's cool. I'm looking at it now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then watching Attack on Titan over again with my boyfriend. He's almost through. He finally got to see what's in the basement.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's basically been the last 2 days for me.
Have you had to explain a lot of stuff to him?
Yes, and sometimes I'll like let something slip that they hadn't gotten to that revelation yet, and then I'm like, fuck, I'm terrible. Like I did, remember last season when I let one slip on the podcast, and then we had to go back and edit it.
That got edited out, so they don't know about that one.
Well, they don't know, but I think we've said that we had to edit it.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. Stuff like that, like, oh yeah, so-and-so is so-and-so's, whatever. And then I'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But other than that, it's pretty fun just to see. You see a lot of interactions between characters that you just didn't before, which has been interesting for me.
Yeah, when you watch something the second time, you pick up on so much more shit. But Is there like anything that's just basically general in anime wise that he didn't get, and you just had to be like, this is a normal thing?
Yes.
Anime.
So when characters start like screaming, you know, and he's like, why are they screaming? This is not that dramatic. And I'm like, no, but that's just the style of anime. Like, they scream. He's like, but I just don't understand.
Cool.
If people started doing that in the street, that there would be problems. And I'm so far removed from reality after watching it for so many years that I'm like, what do you mean? This is totally normal. What's wrong with you? So
I'd be more confused if he wasn't screaming.
Yes.
I'm expecting it at this point.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Leo?
I watched a show. It's got one season out, 12 episodes, I think, 12 or 10. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's called Upload.
Oh,
and this
I've heard
is
about this. Yeah.
This is the synopsis. I got it from Rotten Tomatoes, I think. From Emmy award-winning writer Greg Daniels, The Office, Parks and Recreation, comes Upload, a new sci-fi comedy series set in a technologically advanced future where hologram phones, 3D food printers, and automated grocery stores are the norm. Most uniquely, humans can choose to be uploaded into a virtual afterlife when they find themselves near death. The series follows a young app developer, Nathan Brown, who winds up in the hospital following a self-driving car accident and needing to quickly decide his fate. After a rushed deliberation with his shallow girlfriend Ingrid, oh, she's a cunt. He chooses to be uploaded to her family's luxurious virtual afterlife, the Horizon Company's Lakeview. Once uploaded in Lakeview, Nathan meets his customer service angel, Nora Anthony, who at first is his charismatic concierge and guide, but quickly becomes his friend and confidant, helping him navigate this new digital extension of life. And it is pretty funny.
So is this a movie or is it a series?
Series. It's like 10 episodes.
Where did you say you found this? Because that's interesting.
Amazon Prime, and I definitely recommend it. It was a fucking awesome watch.
What stuff in the future did you find like interesting, like that they portrayed? Like,
the food printing was pretty cool.
Food printing is the fucking best. Ever since like what was the movie Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, when Mia Jovovich like prints like a turkey in her microwave from like a few pellets, I was always like, please let there be food printing at some time in my life.
You know,
so
that
this one's straight up like a printer, like you know how like a plastic printer will make a model of something. It's exactly like this, but with food. That's how they're doing it in the show. Yes, and it's 10 episodes, Kat.
Huh. Okay, but you know, if they did that with like real food, it wouldn't taste good. There's no way.
But what if they found a way to make it taste good, though? Oh, shit.
It depends on what they got in the tanks hooked up to it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they're just pumping some goo in there, some like...
It'd have to be like the taste bud equivalent of like crack cocaine, right? For it to still taste good.
I mean, yes. It probably wouldn't be great for you. I don't know.
Yeah, if you two give this a watch, definitely when we come back, tell us what you really liked about it, because it's really, really cool. And I don't want to say too much because there's all this like crazy stuff to look forward to.
Okay, cool. That's fun.
Yep.
All right, well then let's talk about futuristic anime, or not, just normal anime.
It's pretty normal. Wave, listen to me. Episode 5. Minari arrives at the radio station, has brought a cake for Mizuho's birthday, but she gets super bummed out because Mr. Mato had already brought in one, and she's like, oh no, they've already celebrated. But then like Mizuho's like actually really impressed. She's like, I've never had celebrated my birthday twice at work, and like wins Minari back over, who embraces her, and and she goes, I will make love to you. And then like she has to beg Mr. Mato for like 10 minutes to celebrate before they start talking about what her segment's going to be, and she has not thought up anything, but that's okay because Mr. Mato knew she wouldn't, and he's already got an idea in place. The show is basically going to have no format, and they're just going to do random stuff and just what comes up that week and whoever's mind. The first show will be a fictitious report about a woman who killed the guy that left her, and now she is on the run. And it's going to air 2 minutes into Sound High Tide. And they're not even going to do an introduction or nothing. It's going to be like she just suddenly hijacked the waves. And then when it's done, they're just going to leave with no ads, nothing, just go back to Sound High Tide.
Basically just like a prank, or I guess they call it a gaffe, but yeah, essentially.
And they relate it to when they did the World of Worlds thing, which I
Orson
feel like
Welles.
most people know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody knows about that story of like when they broadcast War of the Worlds, like Orson Welles' version, and people freaked out because they thought it was fucking real.
Yeah, of course, that would never happen today, though. I mean, people would.
Well,
Worlds
Mr.
too
Mato
connected.
says that in the show. He's like, people are just so jaded they wouldn't believe this. So Minari's in the recording booth and she's not really feeling it yet. So she asked Mr. Matsu to say something nice about her. He's like, "Oh, you have like a really good voice, you know. That's why I picked you up." And she's like, "No, I mean like as a woman," as she's like pushing her boobs up. And he goes, "If you would just stand in the corner and be quiet and not open your mouth, you would attract the twice amount as many guys."
I think that's like definitely true for like especially Japanese sensibilities about like not being like
Japanese
super
men
loud and brash.
Yeah,
Like,
Japanese men do not like assertive women at all. Like,
just in general, like obviously I'm sure there are some that do, but like the general landscape seems to be that way.
Yeah, and then in their fucking porn, the women are always like, and being like all super submissive, and I think that's the worst fucking shit in the world. I was like, I don't want it to sound like I'm gonna make her fucking cry. God damn.
I don't know why Japanese people like get turned on by the sound of someone acting like they're about to cry. It's weird.
Yeah, it is super weird. The broadcast starts, and coincidentally, her ex, Mitsuo, is tied up and about ready to be stabbed by his current girlfriend, who he did the exact same shit to Minari with. So when the broadcast starts, as she's like literally straddling him with the knife to his face, she pauses because she's just going on and on about what Mitsuo did to her and using him by name. And rightfully so, she's a little freaked out because like, is this broadcast that came out of nowhere suddenly reading my goddamn mind? She eventually like throws the knife down and like runs out of the house screaming and gets like hit by a car, but I think she's okay.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then the guy's on the floor like, I wonder when they'll come notice me. Because
I wonder when they'll notice me.
Oh my god.
Well, he's got the knife right there in the floorboard.
That's what I was thinking too, Leo. Like, oh, he just needs to flip over and like rub his like hands against the knife, and he'll be out of there.
I mean, have you ever watched a movie or a TV show? Come on.
I mean, he's kind of useless in some ways. So that is so weird to me, though. We've seen the whole process play out now. Like, he hooks the girl, fucks her over, leaves. Like,
steals a ton of money from her.
Yeah,
which is kind of his big thing.
It makes you wonder, like.
Oh yeah,
wasn't it inevitable that this was something like this was going to happen to him eventually?
Oh yeah, it's
like
just ironic that Minari's like broadcast saves him.
It is, it is for sure.
And then like afterwards, Minari's like, "Hey, can I build a station for my taxi ride over?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And he's like, "Also, could you take us home?" And he's like, "You're fucking needy, but I was going to do that anyways." So, of course, after that reading, Minari has this fucking wacko dream, and apparently one of the turtles was out crawling around, and it pooped in her mouth.
Oh, that was disgusting. They had like a
that.
sound effect for it, too, when it pooped. I was like, no!
I appreciated that she like went and like gargled like mouthwash or something, because I was like, I need this to happen. Like,
yeah, she like gargles mouthwash and brushes her teeth and does everything. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
So if she hadn't, you just would have imagined the rest of the episode just
it would have bothered you
mouth.
the rest of the episode.
She's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's like greasy stuff in my mouth. And, oh god, it's the worst.
Oh gosh.
So after waking up, the two decide to look at like some of the forums to see if anything was said about the program. And it turns out Mr. Mato started one of these threads to get things going. And even though Minari complained about the script having too many ad-libs, and she's like, does Katsumi hate me? It turns out Mr. Mato told him to write it that way with all the ad-libs in there. So really, he's the one to blame. And he also wants their lead radio host, Madoka, to give the show a listen. So Minari has to go to work at 10 the next day, so she's had like very little sleep, and gets recognized by her first customers. Apparently they were up really late playing mahjong, whatever you want to say it. And like when the radio switched over, one of the guys thought he recognized her voice, and he was right. And then the other guy's like, "Oh, and he has a crush on you too." So the three of them at the restaurant go on break, and Nakahara is upset because she didn't tell him about the broadcast. And then she's like, "Hey, if I called you at 3:30 and told you I was getting ready to going to play, wouldn't you be too busy to listen?" And then like he and Maki both just like look away like shit. I don't know if that means they're hooking up or if they're just a little embarrassed about they're not hooking up.
Well, I mean, it's
the
that's
first 5 minutes of the next episode. First 5 minutes of the
okay.
next episode, they're not hooking up.
No.
Yeah, sorry to ruin it for you.
I was like, of course, they're two people living in a house together, like with sexual tension.
They are just embarrassed that about the living situation, basically. Minari also declares she's going to fully commit herself to broadcasting now, and that's the end of the episode. But I was just like, I thought it was weird that they had done nothing to explain what's going on with Maki's situation after like the last episode being a huge setup for her.
Yeah.
Turns out that's the next episode.
Yeah,
and I'll stop.
So the other thing was like they kind of needed to get to the radio stuff too, because I started this episode and I was like, they haven't done any radio shit since like episode 1 or episode 2, I guess. I don't know. And it's like they kind of need to get around to that. It's episode 5. It's a show about a radio station and like a radio host, and they haven't done her first show yet. I was like, all right. So like I think priority wise, they needed to kind of explain that before they got around to Makie, I guess. I don't know. Also, Minari just comes off as like super seeking validation from other people for like every decision she makes. Like,
I didn't actually notice that until you said something. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, especially at the end of the episode with the random guys, because like that combined with Chuya basically not, or her determining that like, oh, if Chuya had known about the time of my broadcast, he probably wouldn't have had time because he's like busy with Makie to do shit about it or listen to it. And she's like, I need to stop worrying about this guy and just do my own thing. And like that combined with like the guys saying like, oh, we heard your voice and it was really good. And also I guess Mato complimenting her, all of that is like what pushes her to decide to like go full throttle into the radio stuff from now on. Rather than anything she actually really wants for herself necessarily.
I think most people are like that, though. Most people, they may want to do something, but they do need encouragement to usually solidify that and have them move forward with that dream.
Yeah.
Well, this is her thing, because she can be equally horrified when she finds out, like when she found out she wasn't the clean drunk she thought she was. It devastated her.
Yeah, that's true. She cares a lot about what other people think or envision her as, I feel like.
Her image.
Yeah. I guess that's true of a lot of people. It's just like that's her personality type, though, like more so than other people.
I think especially in Japan, that's very common. Like people in Japan, like their appearance and their standing in society and everything is so important.
Yeah, that's true for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I find a lot of the characters in this are very realistic in a way that most anime don't have. I don't know if you think that or not.
I could agree with that, and they stretch them just enough to keep them like extra entertaining.
Yeah, like they're not just like a straight box character. They have eccentricities and their own little things. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah. All right. Another anime sort of like that is the next one. Sing Yesterday for me. Episode 5, The Man Named Minato. Okay, so this episode starts off with...
Oh, the guy with the dumbass hat.
Yeah, Minato, the dumbass hat guy. Yeah.
Every time I see those hats, I just want to like slap them off people's heads.
They had to slap a fucking hat on him because he looks basically like Rikuo with the beard.
Yes!
The art
Once
guy
again,
from last episode.
All of the male characters in this anime look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, he's just got a beard and a hat this time. That's it.
The hat is the differentiating factor this time, yeah. His eyes are like a little bit like smaller and stuff. Like he looks a little bit like he kind of looks like a mean or angry guy, but he's not like that really. He's just like,
it's like they
just
quiet. Took the same stock photo and just altered slightly parts of their body, and we're like, this is this character, and
Holy
this is
shit!
this character.
No, look at right here where we got the pictures. Look at Ro and Fukuda, and look at their hair. They have the exact
Ro
same
and Fukuda
bangs,
look exactly the fucking same too.
The exact same cowlicks on top of the head. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, they're just not.
They slightly changed his glasses and made Ro look like slightly rounder.
To be fair, this picture of Ro doesn't look that good. It's like a weird picture of Ro. I don't know. Because there's like different pictures where he looks a little bit different than that. But yeah.
That's literally really a copy and paste of the hair.
Yeah, they really just need to get better at making characters.
Just male characters, I feel like, yeah.
Well, but I get why it's male characters, because you have much less variations on things with male characters.
Minato and Rukio's bangs are the exact same too. What the fuck, show?
like you have all kinds of hair you can do for women. It's harder for guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, so yeah, this episode starts off, Rikuo gets a job at a photo gallery that Fukuda hooked up for him. And he meets this second-year college student there named Minato, who's also getting hired. And I'm like, this photo gallery is doing real well. Like, they're hiring 2 people. Like, what the fuck? What photo gallery is this? Holy shit. And so Haru comes to the gallery to check in on Rikuo and ask him out to dinner. But it turns out that Minato recognizes her. And so they all go together, get some okonomiyaki. And it turns out they were in the same third-year class in high school. And so Rikuo kind of gets a bit annoyed at Minato because he's very opinionated, especially about photography. He only likes taking documentary-style photos like you would for like journalistic photography, because he thinks portraits push the photographer's sentiments onto their viewers, which is an interesting thought. And that landscape photos are only just about being pretty most of the time. And so he thinks they're all like worthless, basically. And Rikuo feels like slightly judged also because he's like, oh, I used to, like, what camera do you use? And Rikuo was like, oh, the same shitty one I got in high school. And he's like, oh, well, I tried lots of Leicas and stuff. I was obsessed with them for a while, but then I've tried a bunch and I think I've found some that actually suit my style. And he just Rikuo can't stand how pretentious this guy is about, like, photography. He hates it. Like, after he leaves, he complains to Haru about it, and Haru's, like, teasing him, like, I don't know, he seemed pretty well grounded and pretty good looking, actually, too. So later on, Minato visits Haru at Milk Hall and ends up walking her home. And of course, because this is a romance anime, at the same time, like Rikuo, Fukuda, and Shinako all went out drinking with a group of their college friends. And so they're walking home, and of course they run into each other, both couples. And so, yeah, like they basically lock eyes for a second. And, Shinako also says to Rikuo, I've stopped going in circles over my ex. So, I don't know what Shinako is like. I don't know what the hell she wants. Clearly, she wants to end up with Rikuo at this point, I feel like. She's just, like, lying to herself. I don't know. If not, she's just toying with his heart constantly. I don't know what she's doing.
Well, she may just have him as her backup. Like, in case something doesn't work out for me and I don't find some dude I actually want to be with, I can just settle for this dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, a lot of women do that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
A lot of dudes do it, too.
A lot of guys do it as well.
It's not an exclusively woman thing.
Yeah.
So
after they cross paths, basically, Haru and Rikuo are both annoyed, while the other two, like Shinako and Minato, are just like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" But it's clear, like they're both kind of jealous, like, or just annoyed at what transpired there. Like Haru is like annoyed that like he didn't. Like, that he wasn't more upset that she was walking home with Minato, I guess. I don't know. There's a whole thing. And so, like, Haru pulls Minato aside and talks with him for a while about, like, how she didn't plan to become this type of girl who would just, like, endlessly wait for this hopeless relationship to happen. And Minato's like, well, yeah, you know, I liked somebody in high school, too, and we just met again recently, but apparently she's in love with somebody else. And, like, apparently he should have added, and she walks around with a crow on her shoulder, because, like, Haru couldn't figure out, like, she's talking about him. Or he's talking about her, sorry. And so, yeah, I guess he first took interest in her, like, back when she asked about one of his photos in high school, if she could have it, because she was drawn to it. And ever since then, he's kind of liked her. And so... Yeah, at work the next day, Minato tries to confirm how Rikuo feels towards the two girls, and Rikuo is just saying, like, he's not dating Shinako, and he's only friends, he guesses, with Haru. And so, leaving work, Haru's waiting for Rikuo, and she, like, flirts with him, only to have him, like, yell at her, because he's clearly still jealous about the whole Minato thing, and he, like, brushes her off and walks home. I'm kind of getting tired of him being, like, an asshole to Haru. It's a little bit annoying, but... I don't know. Like at a certain point, he either needs to like put his foot down and like say like stop this, like I don't want you around me, or like it's just this endless cycle of her like pushing and him rejecting her is getting a little annoying to me. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I mean, it's no more annoying than the other way around. When, it's
Well, yeah.
I don't think she's being overly aggressive about. She just wants to spend time with him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she's constantly like date me, date me, date me.
I mean, okay. In the next scene, though, like she drops by the convenience store, and she's like, "I heard you're trying to buy something expensive. By the way, my ring size is 15 if you're buying an engagement ring."
But she's just I don't know.
I know
That's just a joke. I feel like.
Yeah. Like,
Still
I get why it can be annoying to see the same thing happen over and over and over.
a little bit.
Like but when you're a teenager, things, sometimes you need multiple tries before you get the idea.
Yeah.
So this is Haru's learning experience.
Yeah, I suppose. We also found out like Minato has started going to the milk hall like every day, and the barista there is like, I don't think he's coming here for the coffee, Haru. He doesn't seem to like it. He puts like a mountain of milk and sugar in there. So, yeah, good observation from her. And so Minato like waits again for Haru after work and walks her home. And she starts thinking to herself at this point, like, maybe this is a little weird. I don't know. I think it's okay though. And so they end up talking about pets because of Haru's crow. And Minato hints that he grew attached to his family dog because he walked with it all the time. And he's clearly trying to do the same thing with Haru. Like, by walking with her all the time, he hopes that she'll get attached to him like a dog, which I thought was pretty funny. And so Minato then ends up asking her on a date the next day. And so they go to this place, which they both had visited in elementary school, because there's a museum ship there called the Hikawa Maru. This is in Yokohama, Japan. I looked it up on like Google Maps, and I was like, oh, I can see the exact spot where they were in the anime. Like I posted an image of it down below. But if you want to find it on Google Maps yourself, you can just like type in Yamashita Park in Google Maps and go to the street view by the water, and you'll see the whole thing they were walking down. That ship is pretty cool because it was like launched in 1929 and it made trips back and forth between like Yokohama and like Vancouver and Seattle. And like like Charlie Chaplin rode on that ship at one point as part of like some around the world thing he was doing. And it was like the last Japanese ship to port at like in the United States before Pearl Harbor broke out. So it was like the last Japanese ship to visit the US and like come back.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's always fun when you get the side by side, like this is the actual place. This is a recreation for the anime.
Yeah, it looked pretty faithful, like for the most part. Like the only thing I saw was that like the buildings that were behind them on the opposite the water were like a little too close, I guess. But that's not that bad. Like everything else looked great, especially the ship. Like I was literally able to figure out what the ship was by like looking up Japanese museum ships, and I'm just looking through the various pictures until I found this one. So nice. they did a pretty good job of drawing it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Minato's there. He's snapping photos with his instant camera, and he nonchalantly asks Haru, like, will you go out with me? And, like, Haru is silent at first, and Minato's like, I know that you like Rikuo, but she's also like, you don't seem that upset by me liking you either. And Haru's like, well, Rikuo's an asshole who doesn't think about how I feel, and he thinks that, like, she's gonna just settle for being Shinako's backup. But at the same time, she loves him. She's decided that she loves him. And if she doesn't try and go all the way with it, she feels like she'll regret it. So she's not ready to give up on him yet.
The show should just change its name to Unrequited Love. I mean, that's
what it
all
is
the
so
show's
far.
been about so far.
Yeah, it's just like, well, it sucks when you love someone who doesn't love you.
Yeah. But then you can chip away at them little by little.
Little by little until they give in and just date you out of like, fine, you're here. I'll date you.
Settle for me, goddammit.
Because that's what you want every morning. Someone to wake up next to you, turn to look at you, and sigh heavily before going off to the coffee maker. It's like, oh, well, another day of you.
That's how a lot of marriages are, though, I feel like. So, yeah. Minato takes that rejection, like, to his credit, like, in stride, saying that, like, he thought that would be her answer, but he also just, like, didn't want to regret anything because he has this plan about wandering around the world trying to find, like, his own photography, basically, by visiting different places, taking lots of photos. And he knew he would always regret it if he didn't tell the girl he loved how he felt before he left to go do this, in case that it could have worked out, if there was any chance. And so they just basically like shake hands and part ways, which was kind of nice, actually, that it didn't like blow up into some like terrible thing. Like they were both kind of adults about it. And so Haru visits the gallery to find that Minato has quit working there, but he's left behind a photo which he won first prize for. He also said earlier in an episode, like, I'm not going to enter this competition at the gallery because when I submit a photo, it will be the right time and the right place. It turns out this photo that he took was also a portrait, which he said that's like what he said, like the artist is pushing their feelings on the viewer when they take portrait photos. So the way he shot this photo is in like a very loving style, and I think he's saying like, I love Haru in this photo. And he decided to submit it and won first place.
Isn't that the one he used the disposable camera for, too?
He must have, yeah, because, it was on the water, so it must have been the instant camera. It came out very nice, though.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I think Haru also, like, just, like, teases Rikuo for, like, submitting a photo about, like, his buddy, Kinoshita that just, like, didn't place at all. It's just like, on the wall. And she's like, it must be the model, you know? It must be the model that makes for the better picture. I guess I'm just a better model. Just cute.
Yes, very cute.
Ooh, speaking of lots of cute characters.
Okay, so I've got Villainess, episode 5. I don't know. Once again, she continues to conquer characters.
Yeah.
That really could be the synopsis
She's
of this.
unstoppable.
I guess.
She must be stopped.
Yeah. So, anyway, Katarina's been hanging out with Maria Campbell and studies together. And at first I thought it was her house, but it's actually the student council office. Which is interesting. Yeah. So she's trying to get her to be more friendly, I guess, because she doesn't want to be her enemy in the game, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, I can just avoid being kicked out if I'm her friend. But Maria's being a little bit distant, and she'll study with her in the student council office, but she won't go outside of the office. And so some of this episode is sort of her trying to figure out a way to get closer to her. The red-haired student council president makes some tea. He's really cute.
Serious?
Yeah.
Yes, serious. I'm sure he will be the next one that she, like, gets.
It seems like he's going to get pulled into this eventually somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, come on. She's got to collect them all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he makes her tea, and it's very cute, and Katarina comments that the tea has a gentle flavor, and this is kind of like makes him embarrassed.
I just realized since they did use different types of magic, we can basically pretend they're Pokemon, like the fire types and water types.
Kind of, yeah.
It really is just collecting Pokemon. Holy fuck. Oh my god.
The timid water type. And yeah. I don't know. But Katarina has one of those weird like conferences in her mind about Maria. And they're like, well, maybe she's just intimidated by all of these high-class people. And she doesn't want to talk outside because of that. And they also comment that the characters approach a heroine more and more as their affection levels rise. So she may just need to like be around her more. And then also she may be getting bullied. And then later that day, she sees Maria getting bullied. Yeah. And so she uses Earth Bump to help her and defend her to the others.
That was hilarious because like her magic is so pathetic, but she does like use it effectively to like trip this girl up.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't take much when it's a bunch of girls in long ass dresses and shit. Like it's pretty easy to knock them over. Maria starts crying after she saves her, and later Katarina recalls like, oh yeah, in the game that scene is when Keith saves Maria, and then she falls for him. She's like, I've taken away from her another,
event
scene or whatever.
Event?
Yeah, event, unlock event or whatever. So she feels bad about it, but she's like, no, I'm sure it'll work out. And I'm amazed that she doesn't realize like, no, but I've just made them fall for me. Like never in her mind is she like, oh, and now they love me. She just assumes that they don't give a fuck. It's kind of funny. Okay. Later, when she asks Maria, like, who do you like? She says you. And then the other two girls are like, yeah, we like you too. And it's pretty...
We like you.
We like you. I don't know. I would love it if this show actually did go the lesbian route. I don't really know if it's going to, or if it's just going to be hints the entire season.
I don't know.
What do you guys think?
I mean, I think that like Mary is especially is like definitely serious about liking Katarina. I don't know if this is going to go any like definitive route in the end because it just seems like a collecting a harem. I don't think anybody is going to actually win. I don't know if there will be a canon couple.
I completely agree with you on that. There's not going to be a decision made.
I guess it frustrates me that so often harem anime are like this. There's no choice that gets made. It's just a bunch of, ooh, look at this character, look at this character. Which one do you want to win? And then there's not any. It's like all of this came about for nothing. There's no choice ever made.
The choice is in your mind, Kat.
I know. I always get fooled into it too. I'm like, no, this time they'll end up with someone, and I know full well they won't.
That's not
the true goals. The friends we made along the way.
The friends who desperately want to fuck you that you made along the way.
Between the last episode and this episode, I've been kind of bored with it. I don't really feel like they're doing much or a whole lot's going on.
Yeah, it's just the same thing over and over. And it's fun to watch. I enjoy every time I watch an episode of it. But it's mostly the same thing. Like, there's a new character. I conquered the character. Now they love me. That's basically this anime.
Yeah, they're like I've been saying, it needs a little bit more conflict. And like, I liked the second part of this episode at least because it got a bit more serious, which was a different tone for this show. It hasn't been serious for a while, but it's going to need to do more than that, I feel like, going forward.
Yeah, it's gotta have some sort of summation to it at the end. If it can do that, I think most of us will be happy.
Yeah.
So anyway, second part of the episode, Katarina goes to visit Maria at her house disguised as a merchant's daughter. And apparently Maria is fucking famous in this town because immediately everyone's like, ooh, let me tell you the tea on her. Like, I heard that she's actually a noble's like illegitimate daughter and da-da-da-da-da because
she has the magic.
Yes. So it's pretty clear that she's gotten a lot of talk behind her back ever since she was a little kid. And then she gets there and only the mom is home, so they wait inside with the mom.
The smoking hot mom. Jesus.
She was like so
sad. Is that
sad,
an anime
though.
MILF?
She's happy by the end.
She is happier after her daughter makes a real friend.
Makes a real friend. But yeah, she serves them sweets, and her mom's surprised that her daughter makes sweets at school. And you kind of later learn she used to make a lot of sweets for people in town, and everyone, made fun of her and shit on her cookies. And so
she made the cookies to try to make friends in school.
Yeah, and no one would eat them.
They all turned her down.
Yeah, they just literally like shunned her. They like would not speak with her at all, which is real shitty.
Yeah, it's fucking shitty. But yeah, so she's like not stopped making them. So she was really surprised that she's been making them at school again. And when Maria gets back, she offers to make Katarina more sweets. So Katarina's like, great, I'm going to work in the fields. You make sweets.
She's like, can I go seed your fields? Like,
yeah. I'm going to go work in your fields. Like, I don't know.
Would you mind? It's like a hobby of mine to just like work in the fields. Like, I like also like before she got to her town, she went to a bunch of nearby like actual farms. to like to like study up. It's kind of a hilarious subplot. Like I hope she like runs the entire agricultural business of the country by the end of this anime. Honestly,
That'd be great.
Fun. Yeah. But yeah, so the mom like reflects that while her daughter was going all through this, she had her own stuff going on, and so she wasn't able to be there enough for her daughter, and she helps her daughter cook, and it's all very sweet. And I'm assuming her mom's own issues have to do with the fact that dad's not around anymore.
Like, they don't even explain what happened there.
Well, I think it must have been that he thought she cheated on him, right?
Yeah,
because of all the rumors.
It seemed like he probably couldn't take the rumors, and maybe even suspected himself that like maybe there was like infidelity. Because like, how did she get light magic? I don't know.
I don't feel like they
didn't. They left it like up to interpretation.
Went on that all to you. Yeah, like it was just like suddenly he was out of the picture. I'm like, what? Did he die? Did he leave?
I think he
that's
left.
Just my assumption is that he left, and that's why the mom would be going through her own problems.
I don't know if I could leave her mom.
You'd be like, well, she cheated on me, but that ass. I mean,
exactly.
I guess I'll just have to keep a closer eye on her next time. But yeah, and then Katarina gets home, her mom's pissed off at her. She found out about the farm. That's a cute little
pretty funny.
Yeah. I was like, man, I mean, you know what your daughter does. You've been around her all these years. Like, you know that was what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess that's
whatever.
Fair. I don't know. Yeah, it's I liked the second half of the episode because of the sweet stuff with like Maria and like her mom, and all of that was like nice, like wholesome stuff. But like at the same time, the first half of the episode just felt really boring and like the same thing we've been seeing over and over again. So I don't know. Hope it changes things up soon, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope so too.
Yep, me too.
Speaking of changing things up, Gleipnir.
Gleipnir.
Nothing cute about this one.
Well, yeah. Okay, so this episode was really, to me, not a ton went on, even though like things happened. You know what I mean?
It was very compact. Like, yeah, just a lot of walking around, a lot of girls with literal rivers of sweat running down their legs, like that girl in the first scene.
Mm-hmm.
Which make people don't. Your legs don't get that sweaty, right? Like I've done like intense like fucking workouts, and like it doesn't feel like that.
Even surprised.
I just had this debate with someone. I just had this debate. Okay, sometimes people just sweat in different places. Like I sweat a lot on the backs of my knees. I could totally see that happening to me, like a bunch of sweat going down my legs. However,
like trickles of like fucking raindrops falling down the window, like rivers of sweat. Like, I don't know.
However,
ridiculous.
It is exaggerated.
It is definitely exaggerated. I don't know. It's just the way that they draw it. Because like also like it's hard to. I guess a lot of anime do it by making like a sort of shiny texture on people's skin, to just a sheen of sweat. But this one is just like, no, we're just gonna draw it like fucking. White
can't believe
jizz.
it took you till episode 5 to realize they're going to go really, really far with fluids in this show.
They've been doing it the whole time. It's just like this one girl at the beginning of the episode, like first scene, I'm just like, what is happening to your legs,
all
girl?
The fluids from inside the man, fine. All the weird stuff so far, the drool, fine. Sweat running down this bitch's legs, absolutely not. That's the line. How dare they?
Somebody throw her a towel, please. Throw her a towel.
Oh, man. But yeah, at the beginning of the episode, before the opening song, a girl looking for coins meets this other guy in the woods, and they fight. So it's clear these woods are like where a lot of the coins are, but it's also where everyone's fighting. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting later on. Claire and Shuichi go to look for coins in the same woods. And then decide if they meet anyone, Shuichi should immediately transform. And Shuichi's kind of like, well, but what if it's a regular person? And Claire's like, nah, I don't think there are that many regular people in this woods.
Yeah. Like, didn't the alien guy, like, told him, like, that's where people go to look for coins, so, yeah.
Yeah, and even away. If so, fuck those normal people. Whatever.
They wandered into the wrong place at the wrong time.
Exactly. So they hear someone and decide to make the first move. So Shuichi transforms and Claire gets undressed. And this guy has like blade hands and shit. he looks weird. He says he usually doesn't get to talk to people he sees come here because they run. And he seems disappointed at first that Claire is a girl, which was weird to me. I was like, what was his angle here?
Well, I guess because he's all about strength, right? Yeah. And he's like,
and then
girls can't be strong.
Yeah, you find out pretty quick, like, really what it's about is his wish was to be the strongest person. But then he found, after he wished that, like, it was so easy to beat up everyone that he met that it almost made it meaningless, right? Mm-hmm. So he kind of comes in here not to look for coins, but to find people whom he might have a challenge fighting, which is so dumb and such an anime plot. How many people in the world? Okay, if you're even like a professional fighter and you get this wish and you can beat everyone and now it's boring, I don't think that would suddenly inspire you to be like, and now I need to find like great white sharks to fight or something. You'd probably just be like, it kind of sucks that it's easy now, but you know, at least I'm good at something, and
now I get to make like millions of dollars off of this talent.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense to me that his response to that would be, and now I'm gonna lie in wait in this forest and find other people like to attack.
I agree. Like that was one of my criticisms of this episode is that just the gatherers that they meet are so one dimensional, especially this first guy, Sanbei, I guess is his last name. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, he's so one-dimensional and so, like you said, just like so stereotypically anime.
Yeah, it's so... especially after watching shows like Sing Yesterday or Wave, and then coming to this show, there's no depth of plot at all. It's just all like on this, like, this is what it is, you know? But then again,
God,
it's not that kind of fucking anime, and I know that. It's supposed to be pervy and fun. Like, I get that. But it's annoying.
But, like, you could be pervy and fun and still be, like, interesting at the same time. And, like, this just was not an interesting, like, person to meet, basically. Like, I don't even know why they put him in this show.
You guys sound like oracles right now.
We're sitting over here like, we wish they had more depth of plot. And Leo's like, whatever,
I fucking told you this at the beginning.
We're finding it out just for ourselves now. It's fine.
So... You guys are kind of starting to fall off, but I know there's something coming up, and it's going to stay popular until then, which actually, I think it will. I have watched the next episode, and I was like, oh shit, it's already starting. Mm-hmm. So, like, the next 2 or 3 episodes will be popular. Once this little arc with Shuichi and this other girl ends, I think it's going to have a large falling off.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know the girl you're talking about because I have watched 1 episode ahead, so, yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting. I have a lot to say.
Okay. So Shuichi helps Claire attack this guy, and it's clear he's more physically strong. So Shuichi fires the gun, and he shoots the guy, but like not, only in the arm. And then he later introduces himself as Tandori Sanbei. But then Claire and Shuichi separate. Shuichi grabs hold of the dude, and Claire's like, I'm going to shoot you. And so then he's like, okay, I give in. But this fucking gun that she's holding, it looks like a handgun.
That's huge.
But it's huge. Like, okay, I don't think this gun actually exists in real life.
No, it's like a fake
like something
thing.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that's clearly something he gets when he transforms, right? There's no gun like that in the world.
Yeah, like when he transforms back, they don't have the gun anymore. Yeah, it's like part of his power, essentially.
Okay, because I was like, I don't really think... It'd have to be like a shotgun or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I was trying to figure out. Yeah. But yeah, so Tandori is thrilled that they beat him. He's like, yes, I'm glad. Please kill me. And she's like, you've already inconvenienced us. We've had this whole fight. I don't want to kill you. It's even more of an inconvenience. No. And they kind of have an idea of like, well, really, if you had shot me, you would have broken probably both your arms, but still you would have won, you know? But I guess he just sort of decides that if they're not going to kill him, he should just serve them, right?
Yeah, or join up with them, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so at that moment, another guy in a gang comes. and is like, oh, we're gonna rape you and you're gonna be our servants, and it's just stereotypical bullshit.
He looks like a little Titan from Attack on Titan or something. He's real weird.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It looks like a tiny Titan.
And like the little phone that he has, I'm like, there's no way he could have taken those pictures
with his gigantic hands.
No, there's no way. But whatever, I'll suspend my disbelief. But Tandoori kills this dude for them. And they see on this dude's phone, there's like more. Yeah, super quickly. And they see when they're looking through this dude's phone after he's dead, there's other people in the woods that he's taken pictures of. So that's going to be their next target or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's basically the episode. Like,
it was just
not a ton
very
goes
nothing
on.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I liked when Claire laughed about how quickly Tadanori just like kills that guy. like he was absolutely nothing. That was kind of funny, but besides that, like, I don't know, not much happened. The only other thing I like wrote down was like, Sanbei does not look like a sophomore in university. He looks like he's 30 years old or something. It's ridiculous.
He kind of does. Well, that scar doesn't help him any.
I guess that's true. He has got that like Buddha face or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Let's hope for more interesting things from next week's episode of Gleipnir.
Yeah, I kept waiting for more perviness than we got this episode. I was like, well, if you're not going to be interesting, at least do something pervy. And it just didn't. Like,
yep.
Oh, it gets super pervy and interesting.
It gets fun.
okay.
Couple episodes.
Yeah. All right. We're at the halfway point, so let's take a break and we will be right back.
Yep. Cool. Bye.
Hey, do you like wrestling?
Whether it be in a bar, an arena, some weird place in Asia, or in a stadium?
Or the occasional penis plex?
Well, if any of these things might tickle your fancy, anywhere in between from penises to wrestling, you can come and check out our podcast.
Our podcast name is Smack It Down. We talk all things WWE, New Japan, anything else in between.
I'm Jay Silver.
I'm Corey Gold.
And we look forward to you joining us.
Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day indeed.
Hi, I'm JD, your host of the Red Leaf Retrocast, your best location to learn, remember, and relive the past to the present. Our podcast has 4 shows for you to listen to between retro gaming, modern gaming, anime, and even wrestling. The Retro Gaming Cast covers discussion topics, and each episode we discuss retro games picked based on a decided theme for that episode, ranging from space all the way to console specials like the old handheld Game Boy. Our Modern Gaming Cast is monthly and covers video game titles that were released in that previous month. Each anime cast, we focus to review a retro anime each and every episode, like the original Mobile Suit Gundam to the racing hit Initial D. But that's not all. We also keep up with the seasonal shows, by occasionally doing impressions and reviews as well. Finally, our last show is about wrestling, where we keep the rising indie scene up to date, while also covering shows from the bigger promotions like Ring of Honor, New Japan, and WWE, so we cover it all. We also cover a retired wrestler every episode in what we call the Wrestler Spotlight, and are currently on a quest covering old WCW Thunder episodes from the late 90s, every cast. So if any one of those casts sound like something you'd like to check out, that's the Red Leaf Retrocast, Gaming, Anime, and Wrestling, found at iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and all your favorite podcasting sites. Also, you can learn, remember, and relive the past to the present. We can't wait to see you soon.
And we're back with fruit baskets.
Haven't done that in a while.
Kat had to do a quick run, and now she's all sweaty.
Yeah, rivers of sweat.
Rivers of sweat just going down my calves. You wouldn't even, you'd just be able to open your mouth at the bottom of my calf and just drink.
Oh, you know that's somebody's fetish, right?
Essence of cat.
I'm sure. Yeah. If someone licked your calves, though, it would have to tickle. You would have to kick them. Maybe that's part of the fetish. I don't know.
Depends on how ticklish you are.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, not everybody has ticklish calves.
I mean, that's a part of you that people don't touch much, right?
True.
I imagine a lot of people have ticklish calves.
It would probably feel a little weird.
Yeah.
For sure.
And with that side tangent, anyway, in this episode 5 of Fruits Basket, it starts with the scene at the beginning where Arisa, Toru's friend, meets like this interesting customer at work who needs like a basket for all the food they're carrying. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. And he goes to bow and everything falls on the floor. And it reminds her of Toru, and she just laughs in this very genuine way. And he decides he really likes her authentic laugh and becomes interested in her.
Also, it was like a pile of just like potato chips or something. Like,
yeah, something
I thought it was like a stack of
15
I thought it was like a
bags
stack of
chips.
ramen noodles.
I was like,
couldn't
this guy
tell.
and Bakarina need to get together because, like, clearly they were match made in heaven. Like, honestly,
Yeah, no, it's interesting. So summer break starts at school, and Arisa comments that she could break apart a car that she's so excited. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I liked that a lot.
Okay.
I feel like that has to be like a reference to like something. To, like
It
maybe
has to be, right?
like maybe like Street Fighter since not Street Fighter. What just came out? Streets of Rage 4.
Okay.
That just came out, but I don't know if that is.
I
would
think
make
she
sense,
just
though.
has all this energy because she's like finally got summer vacation. I can remember that. Remember the last day of class before summer vacation? That was the best.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, and then Saki, at first I thought she had a tire, and I was like, why does she have a fucking tire?
It's an inner tube.
It's an inner tube. It's like a beach accessory, whatever.
It looks like a tire though, right?
It
Like,
does. It looks
yeah,
like a tire.
okay.
And you know why? It's because it's black, like everything she wears. And I think all of us are used to associating like that kind of a beach toy, like with a bright color, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has to
Yeah.
be why. So
Yeah,
she
that's
has
probably why.
a beach toy, a popsicle, and a straw hat. And I'm like, okay.
She's already in summer mode.
Yeah. Also, apparently she passed all of her classes for the first fucking time ever. So, woohoo.
I like how the guys are like, why don't you just do that all the time? You could just try hard all the time. And she's like, yes, but I have no motivation.
And then Toru wanted to get a job during the summer, apparently, but didn't end up doing so. At the end of the school day, Haru meets Kyo, Yuuki, and Toru on their way home along with Momiji, and they all decide they're going to have ginger pork for dinner and go to the store.
Yeah.
But Momiji doesn't take them to the store. He just takes them to a haunted house instead. That's a weird transition to make. Okay.
Just Momiji things, you know? Like these are just the things that happen when you let him lead the way.
I mean, this must be a Japan thing, right? Like,
well, haunted houses are in like a million anime, if that's what you're saying. But yeah.
well, but I mean, them just being like in a department store, like, oh yes, and next to Macy's is the haunted house, and the kids go there. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I also just feel like haunted houses aren't as big of a thing as they used to be. I feel like room escapes, like escape the room things, have like taken over that. I don't know.
That's true. Those are really popular right
Well,
now.
the only time I ever noticed haunted houses was just around October, and then they go
Yeah.
away until October
Yeah.
again. I mean, that's how I have always seen it.
I
That's
wonder
fair,
if in
yeah.
Japan they're like year round.
It seems like they definitely pop up at like festivals all the time in anime, at least. So
Yeah,
and
like maybe
amusement
that's
parks.
why we see that theme so much. There must be something culturally there. It'd be interesting to research it and figure it out. But
There are lots
Anyway.
of great Japanese horror movies, so they do love horror.
they do.
guess.
They do. But yeah, anyway, Toru is scared to go in, but she decides to do it anyway. She screams the entire time. And Momiji laughs and isn't scared at all. So Toru's like, I'm going to learn from Momiji. And she starts trying to laugh, but like in a scared way. And it's not any better. Then she tries with her eyes shut and like falls all over the fucking place like a dumbass. I will say
Oh, it's
over and
dumb.
over again, I love Fruits Basket. I hate Toru. I think she's a fucking idiot. I don't understand why she
Yeah.
isn't smarter than she is. Like, oh, she's so very sweet, but whoever ends up with this girl, they're going to have to watch their kids because they're not going to be very smart. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Oh man.
so Momiji ends up holding her hand and scolds Yuki and Kyo for fighting while she's scared. Like she's a 5-year-old who must be taken care of. Haru actually helps most by giving Toru backstories for all the monsters and making her have empathy for them, and that's actually kind of cute.
Well, like, especially because he's like, yeah, this guy, he was the most beloved man in his village, and then just like, it's like an animatronic, right? That just keeps going like, "Aga!" in like the background, like every few seconds. I was laughing at that. That was pretty.
I know,
funny.
it's like, and the mom abandoned him when he was young, but she's here today to.
Aga!
And Haru gets so into it that he grabs this one lady's animatronic head and snaps it off. So he end up damaging the haunted house, basically. So then they have to end up going to the manager's office and having this talk about them breaking the doll. And Momiji and Toru beg the manager not to separate the doll that's the mom and the doll that's the kid in the story. And they tell him the story, and he ends up really liking it, and it's fucking stupid, but funny.
Yeah.
Arisa sees that guy again when she's walking down the street later in the episode, and she runs to grab him. And she obviously like really likes him because, I mean, wow. Imagine you meet someone once when you're working somewhere. You see them walking down the street and you sprint after them.
I honestly think it speaks to how much she likes Toru and how much her relationship with Toru like means to her. Because like just the fact that he made her laugh the same way that Toru did is like enough for her to really want to see this guy again and think that he's a good person and all that.
I don't know. Crazy. I don't think it's about Toru. I think it's really just about she knows that feeling means that that person is special, and that
but that's also something she like kind of learned from Toru and her mom. I feel like. She like wouldn't have opened up like this before, like that arc at the end of or near the end of last season, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so Arisa and this guy have lunch together, and she realizes he's 9 years older than her, and he's like, "Is that even legal?" And I'm like, "What?"
I mean, she is in high school. Like, it may actually not be legal.
Yeah, I mean, she's 17. That's above the age of consent.
Like in some precincts of Japan, it depends where you are. Like the age
prefectures.
Prefectures and of smaller subsections of Japan, whatever, legally. The age of consent is above like 13 or whatever it is nationwide. The ridiculously low age it is. So, like, you have to, like, check, actually, like, where exactly she is.
I thought the most common was 16.
It's that, but it's, like, some places it's 17. Like, I've seen it pretty high.
But even if it is 17, she's 17, so...
Yeah, no, but, like, it's legal for, like, a 17-year-old and, like, an 18-year-old to be together in certain places.
Like Romeo and Juliet laws,
Yeah, exactly. The 9-year-old thing would not fly certain places. So, I don't know. It's wishy-washy territory, depending on where they are. Also, Fruits Basket was written a while ago, so it might have been different laws back when it was written as well. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, he seems to work a lot and describes going to a convenience store as unnecessary. And my first thought was, oh, okay, so he's fucking rich. You know?
Yeah, I was like, what? And even she's like, are you the king of a foreign country or something?
Yeah. And she gets pissed off that like he saw that time that they met together as unnecessary, and it makes a bit of a scene in the restaurant and leaves and cries. And he goes after her, and he says he was very happy to see her again. And he almost kisses her before leaving.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward. Like, that was weird.
That was like a weird, like, I'm touching your face and looking deep in your eyes. And now I'm leave.
Walking away. That was such a weird transition. And then only at the end of the episode that I feel like I kind of understood what was happening there. But yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, wait, did he get her number or anything? Could you imagine having dinner with someone and being like, no, I think I want to date them. I want to see more of them. But, you know, only if we happen to meet again in the street.
Well, like Haru from Sing Yesterday, he knows that she works in a convenience store. So he can just go pester her.
Yeah, she's at his convenience, basically.
But also we find out that he may not be able to see her again. This was like a special occasion.
Yeah, so he doesn't get very many days off. Like, basically, he's never had days off. So he probably won't be. Saki and Saki's brother and her talk about this later while they have dinner together. And Saki kind of jokes like, maybe he has a wife and kids. And I'm just like, oh. And Arisa and Saki decide that if Toru ever has a date, they're just gonna fuck it over for her. And I'm like, oh well, that's shitty. Okay. And then you find out at the very end of the episode that it's Kurano who takes care of Akito, who is the one who Arisa likes. So basically, that's going to be a giant mess, and
of course he's
terrible
a Souma.
things will happen.
I was just like, yep.
Yeah. It'll
Seemed
be like
to be implying that they had like an intimate relationship too, like the way he like held his face and like they closed the door behind him when it was like real dark in that room. I don't know. Akito is just so mysterious.
he is weirdly feminine in some ways. Akito is, I think, and it's sort of suggestive of that. But
yeah.
But
now I feel really bad for Arisa because she likes this guy, and now she's like caught up in this whole fucking Souma business as well. It seems.
And it's going to make her life miserable and everyone's life miserable.
Well, hopefully, on the bright side, we just get more Arisa out of it.
True.
Because of it.
I just don't want it to be another, like, the guy who turns into a seahorse, basically.
Yeah, what is that guy's name?
From last season. I don't want it to be another one like that.
Hattori, yeah.
That was miserable. I was like, fuck. And then they do another twist of the story, and you just be like, oh, shit. Like, I don't want it to be like that.
Oh, this is your lock. You can always change it, Kat.
Good luck.
Over my dead body, Leo. You're stuck watching Fruits Basket. You're making me watch the Princess Connect. I'm going to make you watch Fruits Basket. It's okay, but it's weird.
It is kind of weird.
You have to admit it's
pretty
weird.
Selling point. You were just caught up on the fucking llama and just cannot
the
break
last
free.
episode, there was a llama character. Now they're in some sort of weird dungeon. What the fuck is happening?
They're in a hospital.
Are they going to have, like, weird bestiality llama sex in the dungeon next episode? Like, things
Sure, why
just
not?
happen. Like, I don't understand. The plot is almost non-existent. None of these episodes go together.
Oh, sure they do. Okay, so we're talking about Princess Connect free dive.
Yes.
With Lima the llama.
Kat, you know what the llama said to the camel?
What are you going to do with all those humps? All those humps.
I was just going to say, like, let's hump. Let's hump.
Oh, no. See, my answer was much better, actually.
It was pretty good. Those lovely lady lumps. Okay, go on, Leo.
Jesus Christ. So, as before, if Japan ever gets invaded by an army of super soakers, they are done for because Yuuki caught a cold because he didn't dry his hair after a bath. Fuck. This trope
again,
will haunt us forever.
The
Japanese
plague.
people are not waterproof. If they get wet, they will be sick.
God, and they're surrounded by water. It's so sad. It's so sad. They live on an island.
They have a literal raining season. Fuck. But there's also kind of funny because Bakarina keeps feeding him scalding hot porridge repeatedly. And he's just like, ah!
I liked that too.
Yeah, so Kokoro and Bakarina are like trying home remedies, and Carol finally gets fed up with them. It's like, we're taking him to a fucking hospital when like they both start like whipping out bug remedies, and we know she just cannot do this bug shit. They arrive at this hospital, and it looks super, super shady. It looks like it's like under a fucking overpass or something. I don't know what that was. It's dark. There's bloody handprints on all the walls.
Like comically everywhere, like every wall.
Okay, so when did you notice the bloody handprints?
It took me like a minute, honestly.
Yeah, so I felt that way too. Like suddenly I started noticing them, and I'm like, we've been in this dungeon for a good
Hospital.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's a dungeon.
Kind of.
It's a dungeon.
So I probably noticed when he was in surgery, and like you, I'm like, wait, how long have these fucking handprints been here? And I just now noticed.
it would be interesting to go back and see if they're even on the walls at all before, because it's interesting to me that that's when you notice it.
It's just so funny that there's this little detail that we all didn't notice at first, but then suddenly we started
It's so obvious.
noticing it.
It's everywhere.
It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
But also, like, the receptionist and the doctor are dressed really funny. They examine Yuuki and, like, find some rash on his chest. And they, like, take him to another room. It's just, like, full blades and torture devices. And the others get locked out, and then and they start losing it when like power tool noises start coming from behind the doors, and Yuki's literally going, "Ah!" And they're like, "Oh no, they're killing him!" And then if you remember the big fat guy that barged into that tavern and tried to make the place shut down over its food, well, he's like super skinny now, and he like runs by saying, "This place is a prison!" And then around the corner, you hear him scream, and then the demon lady walks by dragging him and talking about trying to find her soulmate. Yuuki finally comes out of the operating room, but they put him in another room and said he can't have any visitors that day, so the girls leave and they go back to the tavern. Eriko, the demon girl, leaves the hospital and is talking about finding her soulmate again still, which turns out to be Yuuki because she has a flashback of him giving her that rice ball when she collapsed.
Yeah. I'm glad that came back around.
Yeah, it came back around. It just took it a minute.
Have we talked about this chick's outfit yet?
No.
The Nanaka girl? Like, no, we have not.
Okay. So it is
no.
literally the one with the horns.
Which one are you talking about, Kat?
The one with the horns.
Okay, Eriko.
Okay.
Yes. Eriko. So it's like she has a string, and then over her nipples, the string has become slightly bigger. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then that's pretty much it, except a jacket. is that
there's these bands that then go over her boobs some more that like connect her dress.
Okay.
Like it's kind of looped around her neck.
It's
just
just
a little more coverage.
A little.
Very efficient coverage.
It's a very interesting outfit. I also liked that they gave her the fucked up horns.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's
and you don't think the other two girls' outfits are fucked up too?
Oh, I mean they're skimpy as fuck, but they're not a string. You know. That's just an extra layer of what the fuck, because I mean, it's not going to stay. Well, no, of course you guys haven't tried to wear something on your nipples before.
How do you know?
When a bikini is that small, it is not going to stay on without careful, constant adjustment. So, like, it's not realistic to me. Whereas these, I'm like, yeah, they look like strippers, but I mean, they could walk around in
you
that.
can make this argument in a ton of anime.
Oh, I mean,
like,
yeah.
The clothing is so impractical, it's not even funny.
Like that one Magic Academy show where the girls all wore like bikini tops. You remember that one?
Oh God, fucking what is it? I hate it so much.
You like triggered Bcom.
The viciousness in his voice. He's like,
He goes, It's like, whoa, man.
The PTSD is real.
Wiped it from my mind. Oh, I'll figure out what it is. I have a GIF saved from it.
I watched it, and I remember like it hurting physically every time I watched an episode of that show. Oh man.
I'll find it in a minute. Don't worry.
All right, I'll keep going.
Okay.
Just stop me when you find it. Eriko comes across a fortune teller, and she's going to get her fortune read, but it's being read by like a perverted skull that says she will soon meet her soulmate with a warm sigh. So back at the hospital, Yuuki is breathing heavily in his sleep, and he opens his eyes to find Eriko right in his face. Rightfully so, he is terrified, and Eriko is just happy that she had finally found him. The girls wake up next day and decide to go and check on Yuuki once they are done with breakfast. I love this detail that Carol is wearing a cat sleeping blindfold.
Oh yeah, that was really cute. I like that too.
I was like, that is an awesome just detail.
There's a lot of really cute little details in this anime. Like they draw.
You sound like you like it.
Well, I like parts of it, and then other parts of it are dumb. It doesn't have a plot. It's a fun anime with no plot.
At this moment, I would say this is like, it's just been nothing but just like one episode of world building after world building. And like, I'm really cool with this. The Rape Magician show.
It was Akashic Records of Bastard
Records.
Magical Instructor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hated that show.
Oh, that was so fucking bad. I hated it so much. Oh.
They're like, how can we make a school uniform as slutty as possible while still being allowed on nationalized television?
I think they nailed it.
They pretty much did nail it. Yes.
Yeah. So the girls end up running to the hospital because Bakarina suddenly remembers hearing something about a certain guild. We'll get to that later. Mm-hmm. They arrive to find a group of thieves yelling because Eriko beat them up last night and stole their treasure that they stole from somebody else the day before. So Eriko comes out and pretty much just kicks her asses, and then some of the thieves recognize her and call her the Destroyer. Then the receptionist, Nanaka, then hits them with her own magical attack that also just decimates them, and they're like, oh shit, she's called the Collector. And then we just do the exact same thing with the Doctor, and she gets called the One-Eyed Devil. Apparently their guild is called Twilight Caravan. I think that's a pretty good name.
It's a good name, yeah.
Yeah, Twilight Caravan. After beating up all the thieves, they take them all in so that they can be used as guinea pigs. The three girls use the distraction to try and break out Yuuki. Unfortunately, they find Eriko in the room trying to put a cursed engagement ring on Yuuki.
It's got like Carol little legs and shit. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's creepy. Weird. Carol has a plan, though, and has Kokoro start smoking out the place, which was earlier she was doing that thing, trying to, wish Yuuki wellness, but now they're just literally smoke bombing the fucking hospital. And then there's just this quick random scene with Anaka yelling at the doctor that she's like, the patients are now dancing and foaming at the mouth. And the doctor's like, good, that's the desired reaction. I fucking lost it. I just started laughing so fucking hard because it was just out of nowhere.
I don't think these girls are the best doctors.
Yeah. So Erika goes to inspect where they do cure everybody.
They do, yeah, that's the other thing.
There may be some undesired side effects, but you're cured. So Eriko, goes and checks out where the smoke is coming from. Carol and Bakarina are taking Yuuki down the stairs and get stuck on them when the doctor starts coming up them. So Carol fakes a stomach ache to distract the doctor while Bakarina shoves Yuuki out a fucking window. And then Carol gives Bakarina the thumbs up. So Bakarina's like, shit, I better escape too. So she jumps out the window. But then the doctor gets really excited because she goes, we don't often get young, cute girls like you. And then outside the hospital, we hear Carol yelling. She's like, I'm all better now. I'm all better now. And then it's just no. So great. They then go to another doctor that says, oh, he's fine. He just needs some rest now. And he's like, oh, he's actually already been treated remarkably well. He asks who they took him to, and they reply with a Dr. Mitsuki. They leave, and in the sky, you just see a happy Carol gives a thumb up, she's dead, passed away.
In remembrance, yeah.
Yeah. And then that's the end, and I just like how at the very end of every episode where they announce what the next episode's called, you got Pecorine dancing in the background.
Little CGI Pecorine, yeah.
Love it.
I went back to the episode, and so the first time you see the bloody handprints is just... It's after they get up to the room and the girls step outside the hospital room for the first time, and they start to hear the dude screaming, and then you see all the bloody handprints all over the place.
Okay, so I got caught onto it a little almost right away then, but
yeah, I think it was right away.
But for a minute,
it must have just not
I was
been.
were they not there?
Yeah. So I'm am I not noticing these? Because that seems like a crazy thing not to notice. It's good,
right?
Good to know.
It kind of makes you slightly worried. You're like, ugh, I should have picked up on that pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was funny when Eriko kept saying that thing that they translated as he 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 he, but the way it sounded in Japanese was kus 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 kus.
Yeah, she would go kus kus kus.
And I was like, man, I want to eat some couscous. I need to find a good recipe for couscous. My mom used to make some with spinach and ground beef, and I'm like, oh, I really want that right now.
I don't even know what couscous is.
I don't know. It's a grain, I guess. I don't know. And then there's Israeli couscous, which is bigger than normal, like actual couscous.
Couscous.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Huh.
Yeah, couscous is
good. It looks like a grain.
Oh, and just I mentioned this to Leo before we recorded, but continuing with the crazy voice actors, for Mitsuki, that pink-haired doctor, that was Kotono Mitsuishi, who is the voice of Sailor Moon. So
they have
so much money.
So many big name voice actors in this show. It is insane.
It's ridiculous. It's fun to hear. It's really fun to hear Kotono Mitsuishi's voice when she's not scream crying like Sailor Moon always is. So yeah, she has a really, really nice voice with this character.
Yeah, she does.
All right. Should we move on?
Yep.
Yes. Kaguya-sama. It's your baby, Bcom.
All right. Let's deliver this baby.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I hope you never fucking deliver a baby. Oh, my God.
Push it out of my butt.
Could you imagine only Bcom is around to deliver? It's
That
terrible.
would not be great.
No.
Episode 5. So, Chika is happy because they've switched back to, like, winter uniforms and something different, and she notices that Miyuki seems very different today. He looks super happy and energetic, and his hair is even, like, straight and, like, perfect, and he's got this kind look in his eyes. And apparently this is all just what 3 extra hours of sleep will do for you, because he's constantly sleep-deprived when he has his student council duties, and now that he doesn't have to do them, he can actually get sleep. And so Yu has a similar reaction to him, like thinking that like a curse has been lifted from him or something. And he even gets like approached by all these other students at this school who are like, "Hey, do you want to like go do karaoke or something? Like let's hang out." And Yu's like, "You might have a chance to be popular for once." So he's a little bit excited about that. But instead of thinking about popularity, he's like, "I need to use this as a weapon against Kaguya." So he goes and finds her in the library and gets like real close up in her face and like bats his like pretty eyes at her, hoping for some kind of response, you know. But she just gives him like a flat, monotone answer to his questions, and he tries again, like even pointing out like, "Look, my eyes, like they're different, they're nice looking now," but it doesn't work at all. And it turns out Kaguya is freaking out internally, but it's because she's like used to the angry look in Miyuki's eyes, and she's like actually sad that he doesn't look cool anymore.
It's like she's weirdly attracted to exhaustion or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like super
Or I think
attracted.
it's because, well, they say because when Shirogane has those over his eyes, he looks like he's looking down on people, really intimidating.
Yes,
And that's what Kaguya likes.
Kaguya is into that. She's got a fetish.
She's kinky.
for sure.
Kaguya's
Yeah, she's
kinky.
got a fetish.
So she goes to Nagisa, or Kashiwagi, asking for advice for a friend, which obviously is advice for her, and Nagisa realizes that instantly. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm worried that if my feelings aren't strong enough to survive, like, Miyuki's temporary change in appearance, like, maybe my love for him isn't true love." And Nagisa's, like, panicking because, like, only, like, little girls, I guess, talk about true love, or, like, little kids or something, and, like, to talk about it as, like, a high schooler, she's so jaded at this point that she just is so embarrassed to even be having this conversation with her. It's like if she was talking about the birds and the bees with Kaguya, basically, or something. I don't know. And so she's like freaking out, and then Chika overhears and comes like, "Oh, you're talking about true love?" And is like, Nagisa's like, "I need to sacrifice myself so Kaguya doesn't let this secret out, because it's going to be obvious to anyone that she's talking about Miyuki." And so she's like, "Yeah, I asked for the true love advice." And Chika's like poking fun at her, but then she explains true love would be like in The Beauty and the Beast, where if you don't look past somebody's appearance, you're the worst. And your love cannot be true. And so she like waltzes off, and Kaguya's like all depressed because she feels like she was exactly right. And then Yu shows up, and they ask him about true love. And he's like, "Well, there's no love in this world that isn't like related to people's own self-interest or whatever." But then he's like, "But if there's a feeling deep inside your heart, that is true love." And if, like, I didn't really understand why, but like Nagisa was super creeped out by him saying that. Maybe just because Yu is creepy. Maybe because he's so confident in talking about true love despite his age. I don't know. Did you guys get any take on like why she was creeped out there? It was very confusing to me. I don't know.
I think it's just the idea that he has people's interest wrapped up in love, and he doesn't seem to have an issue with it. Maybe that's what's disturbing her.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I don't know. That felt like a sort of semi lost in translation type of thing.
Yeah, it may
I don't
have
know.
been. It'd be interesting to like have someone who actually speaks like perfect Japanese come and see exactly what they said and how it's different in the subtitles there. It's a little
Or
odd.
if and when they dub it, to see how they handle it in the dub would be interesting as well.
Yeah.
So, and so, yeah, but like Kaguya is like funnily like comforted by that, thinking like, "Oh, then any type of love is true love. So my love for Miyuki is true." And so she's happy. And so then Miyuki shows up looking like a zombie, because apparently he got no sleep preparing for the election. And hilariously, Kaguya is like drooling and breathing extremely heavily when she sees him looking like this.
She's turned on, man.
Super turned on. She like takes him to the infirmary, She's like, is this okay? Is this all right? And then, like, when she gets there and puts him in the bed, like, Hayasaka's looking through the window, and she's like, my master has developed a very strange fetish. So, yeah. In the next part, Chika's leading the school anthem in the auditorium when she notices that Miyuki is only miming the words he's supposed to be singing. And she's like, oh, maybe it's because he joined the academy late. Like, a lot of people were here since, like, elementary school, and they've learned this song, and maybe he just doesn't know the lyrics. But that's not it. He's just totally fucking tone deaf, and he's a terrible singer. And so Chika remembered...
Before they started the flashbacks with the volleyball, my mind immediately went there.
Oh, it's like, yeah, they're doing another one of these scenes? Okay, cool, hit me with it. Like, yeah, I liked that scene in the first season. But Chika remembers trying to teach Miyuki volleyball, and she promised herself...
It's like a PTSD flashback scene. It's like... I remember.
She promised herself she would, like, never teach him something ever again. But then he's like, oh, I'm just a little bit tone deaf. And she's like, all right, I'm a talented musician and singer. Like, I can do this. I can give this a shot. So they go to the music room, and he's absolutely awful. He's so bad that the paintings on the walls of Bach and Beethoven are, like, scowling. They're upset. And they're paintings. Like, that's how bad he is. And so Chika decides to teach Miyuki how to sing one note, starting with that. So she's singing a G note, but he keeps hitting what's like a D, and it's like an octave lower because of his lower voice. But yeah. And she has to keep telling him, like, no, go higher, go higher, go higher. And he finally, like, matches her tone. And she's like, doesn't that sound good? Isn't it nice how that sounds? And like, okay. And like, so she gets behind the piano, and she's like, let's try to sing now. And he starts singing just like fucking comically terrible. Like, she's like, how? And she's like, oh, it actually sounded like kind of okay, like sort of artistic before when you just missed every note. But now that you're hitting some of them, it's just like even more unbearable to listen to.
Yeah.
So she wants to give up because she's like, this is a lost cause. But then Miyuki tells her, like, a sob story about how, like, he always wanted to sing with everybody. But in elementary school, the teachers were like, no, you should just stop. And the middle schoolers were like, please stop singing and just pretend you're miming so we can actually, like, perform this piece. And so he stopped, and ever since then, Chika's maternal instincts kick in. She's like, leave it to mommy. And so, yeah, they do another one of those, like, Spartan training montages. It's, like, pretty short compared to the one in the first season. But, yeah, at the next assembly, Miyuki is able to sing with everybody. And Chika's, like, watching him, and she starts crying, especially as, like, these PTSD flashbacks of their training pass through her mind. And by the time the song ends, she's just, like, a blubbering mess on the like, stage. And Kaguya comes up to her and is like, what's wrong? And Chika just, like, hugs her to her breasts. Is like, they grow up so fast, Kaguya. Like, oh, it's her mommy instincts.
She's like, I'm so proud. I'm just like, oh, man. If there's some weird scene with some mommy shit with the two of them, I'm out.
Well, we're getting close. So, the final part of the action, or the episode, just returns to the election. And so Chika has made a flyer detailing how Miyuki wants academy life to be fun, and how they'll, like, achieve their freedom by nurturing students' individuality rather than, like, oppressive disciplinary rules like Miko is proposing. Also, like, one of the things on the flyer says, like, if they win back-to-back elections, it would be the first time in 10 years that anybody has done that at the school. So that's kind of cool. Hilariously, Chika did not consult Miyuki on this flyer at all. She's just like, I'm a politician's daughter. I know that campaign promises are entirely bullshit and everybody will forget about them.
She calls them, like, just decoration. She's like,
yeah.
Campaign promises are just decoration. My mommy
like
told me so.
Second time that the anime this season has just, like, made it, like, a direct dig at, like, fucking politics. What was it, Wave last week that did that?
Yeah, Japanese politics. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's true, like, yeah, eating shit from the same thing yeah, exactly, I don't know. And so, after that, Hayasaka has also used Kaguya's family resources to investigate Miko, to try and find dirt on her, but they found absolutely nothing. They're like the most moral family that has ever existed, basically. And Kaguya decides, all right, I'm going to meet with this girl. And so they meet in the student council, and Kaguya just like psychoanalyzes the shit out of Miko.
See, I kind of liked Kaguya for once in this scene.
Yeah, she was on her shit. Like she was breaking down this girl and totally controlling the situation for the most part.
She was trying the best she could.
Yeah. Like she basically decides, like, when Miko's talking about how she's like has faith in her parents and like how she's a little bit anxious, that like the best tactic is to like try to hit her where it hurts, where she's like, well, you've never won an election, and you know why. It's because you're not strong enough to back your rigid ideals. And Kaguya's like, but I can help you with that. I can help you with your campaign strategy, and we'll make sure that you win. But there's just one condition. You have to run next year. You have to wait a year to run. Like, familiarize yourself with the high school and then run. And, you know, Miko's like, it sounds like my opponent's telling me to drop out of the race. Like, this doesn't seem like the best thing. And you're underhanded, and you and the president deserve each other. Why don't you just marry each other already? And Kaguya's like fucking blushing at the idea of marrying the president.
We obviously know this just broke her mind.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, marry the president. Oh. So Kaguya's all flustered. But then Miko says, like, I'll put you and Miyuki on the council, and then I can re-instruct you from the ground up. And that actually sounds kind of nice to Kaguya, because, like, she kind of gets what she wants. She gets to be with Miyuki. Like, he doesn't have to do his presidential duties. They have this, like, place for themselves to hang out. But then Miko's like, but also relationships are banned, and Chika's going to be the vice president. And Kaguya's like, what? So, not exactly how she wanted it to go. Oh, man. Yeah, I kind of like Miko. She's weird. She's an oddball. But I like the dynamic that she adds, and like just another like obstacle for Kaguya, especially.
She's funny.
Yeah.
If in real life she was a person, I would be annoyed with her. She's way too rigid on some things.
Yeah,
but she's entertaining, you know.
I think she'll be a good addition to this cast.
Yeah,
because she's really straight laced, but like not in the same way that Miyuki is. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. She's like comically straight laced, like it's ridiculous. Also, they keep mentioning this like third candidate, like Hayate Hongo, I think is his name, who's like behind them in the polls, and I'm just wondering if anything's gonna happen with that guy, because they keep like Kaguya just like laughs when his name is mentioned. Like she's like, oh, him. Oh, yes, I remember him. But yeah, I wonder if he's gonna come out of nowhere and be a problem or something. But so far,
I thought he dropped out. I thought he caused her to drop out. Him to drop out. Blech.
I don't think he dropped out yet. Not yet, anyway. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure she did.
Who, Kaguya?
Because she was trying to use the same tactic that she did on him with Miko. It just didn't work on Miko. So that means the other guy dropped out. Right?
I don't know. We'll find out. I don't remember them saying that he dropped out, but I could be wrong. I feel like I would have written it down, but maybe I didn't.
All right. B&A, brand new animal. Sometimes people call cat that.
Baseball new animal.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a baseball episode. Sure, if you want to call this a baseball. So some kind of game is being reported over the radio, and the last Dodo Beastman has died from it.
In a double play. It was a baseball game, so the Dodo died in a double play.
I don't like how random this anime is, because like last time we had some completely different storyline, and it just like jumps around a lot.
So I had that same thought, but so it really made me think, okay, so what did this episode give to the show? And what it gave to us is that Michiru has really good control over her abilities now. She has the cheetah legs, she has the super strong arms, she can stretch her arms, and then she can poop off her tail and like land on it like a fucking crash pad or something.
That's true.
So
that's true.
My theory going forward is that she was an experiment for militarizing beastmen.
Oh, yeah,
maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
That's where I think it's going with this. But
I think it's that they want people to empathize with beastmen, and they think that if they change them into beastmen, then they will empathize more.
Oh, like they can like suddenly release a virus that infects everybody, and not all humans are now beastmen too.
Yes, that's what I think it is.
Well, and like you said, you don't know where it's going, but this is triggered. Next episode, they could just fucking open the floodgates.
They could just be like, bam, here's the plot. All right.
Yeah, we're like, oh shit, we weren't ready.
Yeah.
So Michiru is outside shooting some hoops because if you recall, she's on the basketball team, and Shiro asks why she hasn't changed back to her human form since she can now. And she's like, something about convenience, but it's clearly because now she can dunk in her Tanuki form.
Well, she says she feels more comfortable, but yeah, she can dunk like really nice, like really good. Yeah.
I was like, she can't do that, what she just did in her human form. She asked Miss Melissa if there are any circuits she can like play ball in. She doesn't really get sports and takes her to like a baseball game instead, where everybody plays in their beast form. Also, gambling seems to be pretty much encouraged, and you can just straight up murder people on the other team. Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I don't
like
understand why that
Mad
ever
Max.
would become a thing. Like, yeah, you can just murder the people on the other team. It's cool. Also, you can bring knives into the fucking baseball field with you. Have fun.
Yeah, that's not good. Not great.
So one of the teams that are playing is the Bears team, and their pitcher is Winnie the Pooh, who gets absolutely beamed in the face by a ball and has to be taken off in a stretcher. And the team needs to do pitcher, and the catcher makes Michiru pitch because of like a foul ball she threw back into the game earlier that they were impressed by because she can use her big giant gorilla arm. And they're playing against a flamingo team who straight up just talks so much shit that Michiru pitches a ball so fast it rips off all the batter's feathers.
Isn't that when they call her a justice bitch? Because I wrote a note about that phrase in particular.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, so she, strikes out 3 batters, and as you would guess, she's just as equally as good as the batter with these arms, and she wins the game for them. And then the mayor asked Shiro to look into this baseball gambling because she became worried when that last Dodo Beastman was killed, and she's like, what Beastman is going to die next, and be completely wiped out. And of course, Flip is the one who runs this whole gambling thing, so Shiro's like, this might be difficult. The Bears end up begging Michiru to join, and she only joins as long as they promise her that they won't kill or harm anybody on the other team. And also, they are very, very poor, so it comes important later. The next game is against a bunch of really muscular bulls, but they may have the muscle, but they are kind of lacking really technique. Is that what you would call it, Bcom? Like they're kind of fumbling a little bit on the field.
Yeah, sure. Like fundamentals and stuff. Yeah, I guess.
But also, suspiciously, the coach keeps calling for everybody to bunt with like a very obvious sign that the other team sees. So when they see the sign, they all come in field, so they can get the quick and easy out. But Michiru ignores the coach and she wins the game anyways. And then the coach later on gets beat up because he was supposed to throw the game. He's fucking part of this gambling thing.
Yeah, which makes sense why he's like trying to like call for bunts with 2 outs and like 3 bunts in a row and like with his best hitter. Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah. It's very obvious.
And after leaving the happily chosen pizza shop, it just makes me think of Italian gangsters. Shiro begins to interrogate him, but he doesn't really get anything out of the guy because he's not going to spill. So to throw the next game, the coach sticks Michiru in right field and makes just this nobody person on the team the pitcher, which is, that's what you do. If you throw a game, you put your best player in right field. And then we find out the coach used to actually play baseball with humans and got ridiculed all the time for being a beast man. Finally, during one game, he snaps and I think he just beats the shit out of everybody with a bat.
Yeah, like his teammates, the other teams.
Within bat reaching distance.
He's like, well, fuck you all then, basically.
And I think his team had like these red hats with like an R symbol on them. And I don't think it was a reference, but like, there's like the famous like Pete Rose like baseball gambling scandal, and he was a member of the Cincinnati Reds who had like a red hat. So I don't know if that was a reference or not, just because there was gambling. It could have been, but like also Pete Rose's gambling like pales in comparison to what this manager was doing. Like this is way worse than what Pete Rose ever did. So
they're up against the Tigers this time, but even so, Michiru still manages to pull off a win by using her cheetah legs to basically chase down balls and extend her arms and catch like the really high ones and then land on her bushy tail when falling. This also puts them into the championship game. Of course, the coach gets threatened for a second time, and then the coach just like decides he's just going to give up since he feels he's going to die either way. The final team they're up against is called like the Evil Animals or something like that. Anyways, it's like they all have like a bunch of rabies or something like that, and they are straight up just carrying fucking maces and weapons onto the fucking
like,
field.
Look at all the knives and shiny things I have all over my body. Yeah.
And they just beat the shit out of the bears. But Michiru knows that the bears aren't really trying either and finds out from one of them that the gangster guy offered them money if they threw the game. So he's just bypassing the coach at this point. Mm-hmm. But then meanwhile, it looks like the coach robbed the gangsters of the betting money, and the crowd finds out and they start going fucking crazy. Michiru gives a little speech while like throwing a baseball into the wall, and it manages to quiet the crowd and also manages to convince the Bears to try and actually win this thing. They still end up losing though by 1 point.
But they scored 16 runs in the last inning. Like that was pretty admirable.
The crying is very similar to when like an actual sports anime and they lose and they're like boo-hoo, and it's like,
but they get like really warm cheers as they leave the field from the crowd. So they were like, woo, that was awesome. Yeah. So Shiro had met with the coach earlier and showed him a broadcasting of the game. And it's the part where they were trying really hard to win. And he's just like, oh shit. So it kind of like reignites his passion. And he decides to go back to the game and help coach them on. He also gave the money he stole to Shiro, who ended up giving it back to the gangster because he kind of likes gambling himself and he has some bets out there. So
I was like, what the fuck?
He wants to get
back?
paid for this. Yeah, he wants to get paid. But then he also reports to the mayor he found no signs of gambling. And she's just like, well, shit. And that's that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one moment where like Shiro, like there's these two henchmen he has to like sort of like take out, or he just like dismantles their pistols like in like half a second. And I was like, oh, that was some real cool guy shit that Shiro did. I liked that part. But yeah.
Oh, when he gave the money back to the gangster? Yeah.
Yeah. In general, I just liked all the animation of Michiru like pitching and hitting. It was really wild and fun. And
yeah,
just,
the
like,
way her
full
paw
of
would get all big and it's a dramatic type of animation. And that's what Studio Trigger's amazing at anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All that exaggerated animation is like their style for sure.
So Kat and I have a theory, Bcom. What are you going on? So just to reiterate, mine was, I think they're trying to militarize beastmen. Kat thinks they're trying to turn all the humans into beastmen so they'd have no choice but to live in harmony. What are you thinking?
I think they are running a beastmen hostel where they want to turn all of the beastmen into prostitutes. But they need various different types, right? Like, because like they have these reviewers that keep coming to their hostel, and like they want all sorts of different things, right? So to satisfy them all, they need variety. So like they need Mitro to turn into any kind of beast that you could possibly want, and so that's what they need. So they can get like these AAA reviews from the reviewers that keep coming over. That's my guess.
If this wasn't Trigger, I'd say you're fucking crazy. It's Trigger, so I have no fucking idea.
Honestly, like I guess I would side so far with more towards Leo. Like them militarizing Beastmen sounds like something that would be, that would be like Trigger would definitely like do. I don't know. We'll see.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
also this episode's probably censored in China because they mentioned Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, they've militarized the clothing and Kill la Kill, so.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a farther stretch than this one, so.
Very true. All right. So thanks for listening. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube to get updates on new podcasts or videos. You can also find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. And follow us on Twitter at Nerdom and Other for updates as well. Come hang out on our Discord with a link in the description. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later. All right.
Okay. And then we'll
50?
clap at 50, yeah.
All right, good.
Okay. That should do it. Welcome to the 132nd episode of the Nerdom and Other Nonsense Anime Podcast. Oh, my voice is all scratchy. Hold on.
I can do it again. No worries.
Okay. Welcome to the 136th episode of the Nerdom and Other Nonsense Anime Podcast.
Wrong number.
Wait, what? I was like, did you just say the wrong number?
136th.
136. I was, our...
That's fun.
Wow. Welcome to the 132nd episode of the Nerdom and Other Nonsense Anime Podcast. Today we are back to break down episodes that aired in week... That's a terrible way to put that. Oh my god.
Yeah, how do you want to rewrite this somehow?
Today we are back. Yeah.
To talk about, or...
Yeah.
To talk about the episodes that aired in week 5. Or, yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
Welcome to the 136th episode of the Nerdom... I said 136th again. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Nice.
All right. Welcome to the 136th episode... Oh my god!
All right.
What is wrong?
This is probably going at like the end of the podcast now, honestly.
No, not the bloopers.
Wow.